guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here. As you can see, today is a bonus video because today is Tuesday and I upload Monday, Wednesday and Friday. But as you might know, in January I did a giveaway and one of the prizes, I think I say this at the beginning of every one of these videos, was to pick the videos that whoever won wanted me to film in February. And Nicole from A Beautiful Chaos of Books, whose channel I'll link below, she won the giveaway prize. I asked her to give me 4 video ideas and I would do 3 of them, but she picked such good ideas that I decided I was going to do all of them. So I've decided to do this one as kind of a bonus video just because I'd already scheduled the rest of my videos for the month and this was not included because originally, like I said, I was only going to do 3. So this is kind of the extra one, so you'll have another video tomorrow as normal. I just wanted to do this one. So basically, as you might be able to tell from the title, Nicole asked me to talk about how I became a reader. So what I've decided to do is a video which I'm calling My Reading Timeline. And I want to talk about kind of the steps along the way that have really stuck out to me and in my kind of reading career. Sounds weird, but you know what I mean. So basically, my parents are both readers. My sister was also the same as me, she reads as well. And when we were really very little babies, my mum read to us. In fact, she probably read to us when we were still in the womb, to be honest. But I remember, well, I don't really remember, but I know that my mum's told me that she read to me, you know, as soon as I was essentially born and all the way through. And when I was 2 years old, I used to go to a nursery and my mum, and also I have the reports written that said that they were a bit worried because I would always sit in the library section of the nursery and I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't want to play games and things. I wanted to look at books and I couldn't read, but I wanted to look at the pictures and kind of like pretend. So that was kind of my earliest reading memory. I say memory, obviously, like I said, I don't fully remember it myself, but yeah. I remember when I was in primary school, I was a big reader then. Like as soon as I learnt to read, I was always reading. I've always loved to read. I used to read to my mum every day after school and I just really enjoyed it. Now I was put in the kind of gifted and talented class. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, I'm just telling you the truth there. I was put in the gifted and talented group and it got to the point where my reading level was higher than my age. So I think I was about 7 or 8 and my reading level was like 14. But the problem with that is, it's all very well and good being able to read more advanced books, but unfortunately the topics of those books weren't for my age. So obviously they start talking about like, I don't know, what do they talk about when you're 14? Like maybe sex or relationships and stuff like that, and obviously I was 7, like it wasn't really for me. So I remember I actually read through all of the books in my primary school that they have, like they called them gin level, but I don't actually know what they call them now, but they had like the coloured books that you would read through the levels, and I read through them. And so my teacher, who was my favourite teacher, her name was Mrs. Adlam, I loved her, and she used to bring books in from home for me. And I remember there was one particular book that really sticks in my mind. I have no idea what it's called, but it was a book about Little Red Riding Hood. But it was like I don't know what it was even, but it was a longer novel rather than it just being like the sort of normal story. And I remember really loving it, and yeah, it was definitely one of my favourites. And that sort of stayed with me. I used to read all these other books that kind of were the right level in terms of topic, but they were kind of more advanced in terms of the actual writing. Then, as we all know, and I've talked about this before, I read Shady the Sheepdog, which I have this really battered old copy from 1953 in it. I love this book, it's amazing, and I read this probably maybe like once every other day. I was reading this. I love this book. This one and The Hodgehog were the 2 books that I remember loving. And then I got really into Enid Blyton, and The Faraway Tree was my favourite. And then moving on to when I was about 14 years old, and I remember my mum used to have a load of Jackie Collins books. Now I do like Jackie Collins. It's just a bit of guilty pleasure really. I say guilty, I'm not guilty about it, but it's one of those like books where you're like, oh, it's so had a sexy time in it. But basically I remember my mum had a copy of a book, and I still remember it now. It was a purple book and it was called Lovers and Players, and I was 14 years old and I was terrified that I was going to be found out because I stole it from my mum's room, and I took it into my bedroom and decided to read it. And I remember reading it under the covers, and then every time someone would come in I'd pretend I was doing something else. And yeah, I remember honestly that was like my biggest thing. And then I went to uni, and at uni I noticed, by the way, I've completely missed out Harry Potter because I didn't want to talk about Harry Potter again. I obviously loved Harry Potter. I think I read Harry Potter starting from when I was like 8 to sort of 12, was when I really got into it. And yeah, obviously never went away. I've read it every year pretty much since then. Then I went to university and I didn't read the whole time I was at uni. Uni was very stressful for me. I used to have panic attacks and things, and it was very much a stressful time. And I mean, I loved my university degree and I loved the people that I met. It was quite stressful, but I just didn't take any books with me to uni because I went to uni 3.5 hours away from my house, and I don't drive, and neither do my parents, so I had to get the train, and obviously trying to lug all my stuff there just wasn't going to happen, so I didn't take any books with me. So I didn't actually read at all for the whole like 3-4 years. I was like 3 years, but probably like 4 years around the uni time, just because I never did. And then I finished university, and that was in 2013. And I probably started reading pretty much straight away when I came back. And then I just got stuck into it, and now I'm reading 120 books a year. That's only been the last 2 years I've done that, actually. And I absolutely love reading now, and obviously now I've got my booktube channel. I really feel like it does make me read more, not because I feel like I'm pressured to, but just because I enjoy it, and I love talking about books with people. So yeah, that's definitely kind of a positive of booktube for me. And yeah, I absolutely love it. So if you have any questions for me about my booktube experiences or my reading experiences in general, do let me know, because I'd love to kind of answer them for you. So do ask me in the comments if you have anything. Otherwise, I'd love to hear your reading timeline. So if you want to make a video like this one, feel free to go ahead, because I'd love to hear your stories. I always find it interesting to see whether people were big readers when they were younger, whether they got into it a bit more recently, or what, you know, the history of it was, I guess. So yeah, so that is going to be the video today. As I said, it's quite a short one, but it is a bonus video. Thank you, Nicole, for picking this topic. I really enjoyed talking about it. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow at 5 PM for another video. Bye guys.